Hey, welcome back. We're back in Timberborn in our Oakspire Heights colony, and last time we've got science taken care of. Well, pretty much. With the one number cruncher, we should be able to get a lot of the basic stuff that we need going. And then as we get more and more, hello, beavers, we'll fill up our science team there. But I do want to make sure that we've got some items coming in. For instance, we can do the fermented soybeans here in a minute. We can't do the mushrooms yet, but we can do the berry filling once this actually starts getting some mangroves here. Here, let's make this guy actually plant the mangroves since we're kind of waiting on them anyway. And I think there's a couple of trees left here, but we probably don't need both of these people. So we'll go ahead and plant a tree over the top of them. So we can wait on that. This set of wheels did go in last time, so we can go ahead, connect those in. There we go. Let's do power. We'll do one turny shaft there, or at least it will be, once we put in the flywheel in between here. There we go. That'll save a little bit more power. We're still not saving a ton of power, but, you know, that's sometimes what you gotta do for until the time you can get better. Let's unlock our oil press so that we can make those nice, what were they? Soybeans? I guess those are nice. I've never tried to eat a soybean fermented, so if anybody has, let me know if they're any good, because to me, that's not my thing, definitely. We've got this going down here. Let's see if we've already got enough of our science to get, yes, our explosives factory. Let's get those in as well, because we're definitely going to need those here soon. We've got these. Let's put in some storage for this stuff. So we've got, what are these? These are the cassavas. They're fermenting themselves. These soybeans are going to need canola oil, but it should be right over here. So let's get the actual soybeans in here. You can go there. Let's get soybeans. There we go. And we'll also do some storage here for the canola oil itself. There we go. And canola oil. Canola oil? It's the canola oil icon there, L. There you go. And then this one's the berry filling, which we need a berry filling and berries and mangrove fruit. So let's take care of that real quick. We'll grab maybe the small one here. There we go. That one can be for berries. This one can be for mangroves. Once I find mangroves, there they are. And all of them should be incoming. There we go. That way they don't have to walk so far. Now, what I really want to focus on today, other than getting our industry going again, I want to come over here, and there is this little spot here that's blocked by a blockage, but if you look behind it, there's a water source. And I want to see if maybe we can turn this area into a reservoir that will keep a lot of this watered throughout droughts and whatnot. So we're going to have to take this out, which means we're going to have to get some dynamite, and we should have enough food if we keep all of this green. So let's go ahead. We'll put in a staircase here. And we've been trying to get rid of these trees for ages. Some of this we can just do on our own, just like that. There we go. Let's take out this here and this here. There we go. Once those are out, we're gonna need to take those out as well. So let's take those out. There we go. That should get us going. They'll come up here, take care of those in just a few. While we're waiting down there, I'd like to take a look. I was going to separate this out into a separate district so people don't have to constantly climb up and down this ladder. But I'm not sure we have enough houses up here. But while we've already got the bypass that we were putting in last time, let's take care of the dam that we want there. There we go. And then we'll connect that back in. Here, let's go ahead and take out a couple of these. There we go. And then we need a district crossing. Let's get a larger one just in case we need more stuff moved. Once they do that, we'll go ahead and put in a 4-way district up here. And we can move people in. We're going to need a couple more builders. We're going to need 19 and 6. Let's just do 20. Well, let's keep our number of beavers that we need down here as well. Whoa, not 9,000. There we go. It stalled for just a second, and we definitely need more than 9. So let's do... You have 64. Nope, let's just go back to that. There we go. So hopefully that should do just fine. But we've got beavers outdoors up here. So let's take care of that real quick. Let's go staircases. Actually, let's do a ladder. We'll do a ladder so that we can get down here. Eventually, we might just cover in this lake. As nice as it looks, it is taking up a whole bunch of usable space up here for us. So maybe it would be better if we just closed that off for now. Let's get the cassavas in here. There we go. They're still cutting those trees. We'll get this, and then we'll even do a couple of potatoes here and there. Eventually might need to take some of these out to get around the lake if I don't go around this way. But as let's see how many, I can get 10 workers in there. Well, let's get 10 in here too, just to move stuff back and forth a little bit faster. So now we're definitely behind on beavers, which is not the biggest of deals. We'll get caught up on those. Let's make sure those go out. Let's say, hey, put in some platforms here. I'm going to do platforms all along here so that we can get a couple of houses in up here as well. I just realized a small problem with our fermenter here. We've got the canola, but we have not set up to actually grow any soybeans anywhere yet. So we're going to have to, well, maybe we should come up here. And we've got plenty of those. We've got more carrots than we can handle. So let's see if we can maybe take out some of the carrots. We're going to do, yeah, let's just do this section here. And we'll replace those with soybeans. So this place can export soybeans down to the area below. Are these guys just kind of sitting there? I feel like they're just kind of sitting there. So let's get rid of them. And then we can go soybeans in here. We'll just have this area grow soybeans for us. They can come out and get those planted. We'll check back once they've gone through all this area and get the soybeans planted. That science is already paying off. We're already able to grab the wood workshop. Not the wood workshop, the tapper shack. That's what we need, tapper shack. There you go. That'll let us pull in the pine resin from here, and that should be pretty much the whole thing. Everybody there looks like they've been cleared out, so we can go ahead and take this out of here. We'll have to turn these stairs, though, slightly. That's not going to work with the house being right there, but that should still let them get there. Let's go ahead. We'll put in a tree there, and anything that's still marked to cut, let's make sure it's not going to cut those trees down. There we go. Now we've got some trees going in. We've got a tapper shack coming in to get the pine resin. We still need gears. We're just plain old behind on gears. I've put them to prioritize the haulers there, so hopefully that speeds them up just a little bit, and we can get some more of these things that are requiring gears done. They've cleared out all of this up here, so I think it's a good time to see, one, if we can afford dynamite. Yep, we sure can. There we go. Science still paying off. There we go. All of that can go. I could probably leave that. That's okay. We'll do it for consistency's sake. And then I also need to look in over here and probably remove some of these trees. Do I need lumber? I don't need lumber really badly, but you know what? We could probably use a few. So let's go ahead, grab these. There we go. We'll take all those out. We'll put a lumberjack flag in here real quick and say, hey, go ahead. Oh, I did mark those to cut. There we go. Awesome. Those are done. This is all done. We've got that all set up and ready to go. We can probably go ahead and close off this path. Let's go ahead, take some landscaping out of there, and we'll go with the levees here. That can go across there. And we'll say everything on this side needs to come out as well. So hopefully they can reach all of that. That all needs to come out. This will all need to come out. This all needs to come out. All of this needs to go. And all of this needs to go. And that should let us start building our big reservoir over here for that small area. There we go. And yeah, I'll take these out and just replace them with levees because it'll look a little bit more consistent. So the drought starts. It looks like we've got some of these in already. So let's go ahead, get the large house up here. There we go. And that'll give us 9 more, but we really need 15, it looks like. Okay, well, what we can do is we can keep expanding out. If I were to say, actually, let's remove these, because I don't need those. But what I do need is probably the 2 height. There's our 2 height. There we go. 2 height all along here. And then 1 height in here and here and here. There we go. Let's see. What about 3? Does 3 reach up? Yep, that looks good. We'll do another 2 here. Nope, that's a 1. Let me grab the 2. 2 goes there. 2 can start going all through here. We are going to need to get down here, though, it looks like. Oh, we'll do that. I forgot to put in this block, so they lost a little water there, but that's okay. Eventually, I'd like to get some around here, too, just so it holds in a little bit extra water as well. We'll see how that goes. These might eventually move out to the more middle area, but we'll have to check that in a bit. Do we have stuff going in and out for all of these? Yep, everything looks like it's good to go there. So we'll keep an eye on that as the district grows. Back down in our industrial section, which is unfortunately about to run out of power, it looks like, for the next couple of days, we are going to put in some storage for our explosive stuff here, because we don't have any yet. So let's go ahead, maybe toss in... Yeah, we'll toss in that for bad water. Bad water coming in, and we'll even connect it in there. There we go. Then we're going to need, maybe not that, let's get a large warehouse. We can look into changing those out. There we go. You can just be for dynamite going out. There we go. Yeah, looks like we ran out of power. So, do we have enough yet for actual generators? Well, we could do a large windmill, which wouldn't be bad. We could do a small one, which would definitely at least get us something. Or we could have the engine, which would eat through our trees even more than we're eating through them now. So, let's see. We don't have paper. So let's start with a couple of small windmills in the back here. And we'll see if maybe they can provide just a little bit of help, even in times where there might not be any power for them to go off of. Well, looks like I can't go there, so that's probably going to have to be it. Let's connect in the power here. So you are connected to here. You can come through here and here and here and here. I don't know if we'll have the resources to do this at the moment, but we're going to find out. We'll use what we can use. In fact, it looks, am I out of planks? Yeah, I didn't get a whole lot of planks made, it looks like this time. So we might just be waiting a little bit until our power comes back on. I'm noticing our lower area here is actually starting to be behind on beavers again. So we're just going to go ahead, toss in a couple more places for them to stay. Maybe 2 should do. And we'll get in a light for both of them. Yep. Let's see what other kind of buffs that we might be able to get for them. Shrubs, because everywhere needs a good shrub. In fact, okay, that one's covering that. Let's do a shrub behind here. Yep. We'll do one there, maybe one here. How about one there, and here. That should give us a little bit more well-being. Maybe that'll make them live a little bit longer, make them live a little happier. There we go. That should help out just a bit. While we're doing that, something I want to check in on is our scientific projects. We've got a couple that we can now pick up with the extra science. We've got the trail boots, which is 15% movement speed. And then a 50% movement speed. You know what? That's going to take a lot of ours, but that's okay. They should be very quick now, or at least much quicker than they used to be. The rainy season is on us, which means all of our tiles are back to green, so everything should be plantable. We've got a little bit of dynamite to do here. They should still be able to get most of that over there. Let's go ahead and we'll put in this here. Let's fill in that, and any spaces that aren't filled in with potatoes, let's go ahead and get that done as well. Over here, whoa, hello. Over here, we're still waiting on a lot of dynamite. I could just go ahead and draw that path through just so they can get to all of this, and then we continue on. Looks like I'm missing a dynamite or two from here. Let's go ahead and put those in as well. And then I think I want the whole thing to come over about this far. Eventually we could fill these in with dirt, but I think for now we might just fill... Well, actually, no, the stuff from above comes above down here. So we will just fill this in eventually with levees, I think, just to make sure that we're not maybe wasting any water. I guess we could leave it. It won't hurt, but we can take those out. That should be fine. While we're up here, I want to go ahead and plan to maybe shuffle some of the bad water from these off of the side of the map. Of course, to do that, we're going to have to move things around just a little bit. For instance, let's say the dynamite is going to have to come out maybe this way, and we'll put the sluice in right here. That should force all of it to come out that way. Go ahead and get that in there. We'll get this dynamite here. There we go. And now we need a way to get over here. You know what? We can walk right through. You know, there's that camera on a stick. There we go. We can walk right through here. Come over and get some stairs up here. There we go. We'll do stairs. We'll do a platform here and here. And then we can do maybe... we do a dynamite here. We can put in some sluices elsewhere. There we go. Let's go up that way. And I don't know if that will be in range. That might be out of range. Yep, it is. So let's go ahead and we'll do platforms all along here anyway, just to give us some extra space currently. There we go. And we'll just take the road out and around here so that they can get to all of that. There we go. And here we'll connect this road in. There we go. The long and winding road. There's that. And then we're going to need stairs down so that they can properly build sluices, which I don't know if I've got enough. Yeah, I have enough or that. So we'll go like this, and we'll go like that. And then we'll blow that one up and put the bad water sluice out the back. The bad water can go out that way. We'll probably put the sluice there and just let it go. And the good water can come out here. We'll put another one maybe right here. Yeah, we'll just put it right in front there. There we go. That ought to help direct some of the water around here. While we're up here, we've also got these in. So let's go ahead and start covering the rest of this lake, just in case we need more space, which I'm going to guess we're probably going to need at some point. There we go. That's all 2s. This is 3s. We're going to have to find a way to get down and get those trees eventually, but we'll worry about that when we get there. I feel like our power sources here just aren't cutting it. We're trying to get these windmills put in, but we're having to run the lumber mills quite often, and it's kind of draining all of the batteries that we're getting. Not to mention this number cruncher is really hitting it hard, but it's nice to have because we've got plenty of science, and that science will definitely help us fix the problem. So we're going to start with one fix here. We're going to go and grab a paper mill. We'll just toss this back here. It can be in the back here somehow. Let's take that out, and what we'll do is let's use a dynamite, and we'll take out one piece of land right about there. Can I put the dynamite in there? Maybe? Yes, no, dynamite. There we go. We'll say that's high priority so that we can route it around there. And we'll just come up this way. And then we can actually replace these instead of the smaller ones. Let's just take those out of there. We'll just start with the larger ones. Let's go power and power generators. Let's go ahead and just get the larger ones. There we go. We'll explode you. You can come in there. You can go here, here. Well, not there. Well, now you're in the way of both of the other ones. There we go. We'll do that, and then we might just go ahead and see if we can get in an engine somewhere. I put one maybe here. Yeah, that should be fine. We'll go ahead, put in some platforms here in case the water ever does come back. We'll be ready for it. There we go. And let's go ahead and we'll do, instead of this, we'll do power. There we go. Power. Vertical power shaft. Yes. And we should be able to put in just regular old power there. We'll let that be. We might even do a second one here just in case. And we'll store some logs up here in case they need to throw a couple of logs on the fire. Just to keep it running. Coming in. There we go. And then I guess I could do one more here. Yeah. That should be fine. We'll let that go and see what they can come up with there. We're still waiting on a little of everything. Looks like we've got the dynamite warehouse in, but it also looks like we're using a ton of dynamite. Oops. Did he move out of the way? Oh, nope. We got one beaver. Sorry there, beaver. That's okay. We will remember him. We will name this the Quevelax Grand. No, we're not going to name it that. That's terrible. That's a terrible name. Sorry, buddy. You died in an explosion and had a terrible name. You're just going to have to live in the afterlife with that. Let's see if we can get a little bit more. Maybe that was good for him. He did his part and that was it. He was tired of having that name. I don't know. I just noticed there's a bit of a hole here at the bottom of our reservoir, so let's go ahead and fill that up. I think it's a path that leads over somewhere, but that should be enough to at least seal the hole. I think it leads out right about here is where I just managed to follow it to, but we're not going to be using that path. This is going to be strictly for our reservoir. We could, if we eventually got the airlock, we could do that, but I'm not sure what the point of it would be, so we're just going to go ahead and wait for them to clear some of this out before we get to the next one. We can, however, go ahead and start with the next layer. How many logs do we have? We have plenty of logs to handle this. There we go. Oh, looks like I need to get up here and remove a couple of these berries, though. Let's make sure that we've got this in here. There we go. We'll say remove all of these. Yeah, that should be enough. And then we'll just plan for more reservoirs. More layers to our reservoir. Once we've got that in, we're still waiting for a lot of stuff there. And then we've got this going in, which eventually will cover this whole lake. So we'll get back to that, but I think all of that is going to be next time. So as always, just want to say thank you very much for stopping by and hope to see you next time. Bye.